everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Mom's the Word. I'm Eva Danielle, and this is my son, Gabe. You want to say hello? And that's hello for Gabe. Now, luckily, he's in good spirits. However, last night we were just at urgent care with a high temperature. So I just wanted to come back today and kind of do a vlog as to what's going on with us and some of the things we've been using to help keep him comfortable. Now, fortunately, he was just diagnosed with a simple virus, aka the common cold. And so there wasn't a whole lot that we could do besides helping to keep the fever down. So I just wanted to come back today to, I guess, kind of discuss some of the things that we've been using to help keep him comfortable until we get over the proverbial hump of having the cold, and to also get a question going as to what you guys use to help keep your little ones comfortable and healthy during this inevitable cold season. So anyway, if you guys are interested in finding out what we use to help keep him comfortable during this cold season and also healthy during this cold season, be sure to stay tuned. And as you can see here, he is in good spirits, so that's a great thumbs up. So be sure to stay tuned, and as always, we thank you for liking, watching, subscribing, and telling a friend, and we'll see you in a few moments. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Hi guys, and we're back. So as I said before, I just wanted to do a quick video of some of the things that I use to try to help keep down the spread of germs during this cold and flu season, and also some of the things that I use to help keep Gabe comfortable when he unfortunately does catch whatever cold or bug is going around. So just gonna make this quick. Like I said, I just want to share with you guys some of the things that I use, and hopefully you guys will find this helpful. So we're gonna start with a few of the conventional things that I like to use to help keep down the spread of germs in our house. So first things first, we have good old-fashioned bleach. And if you can remember when I did the tutorial about how we handle Gabe's eczema, I utilized bleach in his baths in order to help keep down the bacteria that is found on the skin. So the same holds true for the surfaces in our home. So you can also use bleach as a great disinfectant in order to help to minimize the spread of germs. And so what I do is I'll take a glass spray bottle and I'll fill it with water, and basically I fill it to 1 part water, 1 part bleach, and I will spray it on our countertops. I will spray it in the sink, and I'll spray it on, if I have paper towels, I'll spray it on the paper towel, and I'll wipe down some of the surfaces that we tend to touch that we don't think about, like the doorknobs, the refrigerator handle, the microwave, and I'll spray those down to make sure that I've gotten down to the nitty-gritty in order to help keep the spread of germs down. Another option you can use is that you can utilize different sprays that contain bleach as well. And so this one happens to be made by Comet, but there are plenty other bleach sprays on the market. And I also use this in our bathrooms when I want to help keep down on the spread of germs. And I also use this to disinfect and clean Gabe's potties, especially when he has drop the kids off at the pool, if you know what I'm saying. So I want to make sure that we keep down on the spread of germs and to disinfect the potty, so I use that as well. Another option you can use if you don't want to go with, you know, the big bleach bottle or the bleach spray is that you can also use different disinfectant wipes like the Clorox wipes. And again, you don't have to use Clorox. I believe Lysol makes them, other companies make them, and so you can use the disinfectant wipes as well in order to help clean your doorknobs, your handles, your remote controls, all those things that we tend to touch and share that we don't think about. And especially if you have somebody that's already sick, or you know, they've sneezed or come into contact with somebody who hasn't washed their hands, then you can use those things to help wipe down the surfaces. Now, unconventional method of disinfecting that I like to use is, I'm actually a huge advocate for essential oils. So now, don't come for me if you say, well, either you're going to use essential oils or you're going to use, you know, chemicals. I believe there's a time and a place for everything. So as a, I guess, baseline, I also dilute this particular essential oil blend, and that's made by doTERRA, called On Guard, and that is a wonderful way to disinfect your surfaces with On Guard. If you have a spray bottle, you fill it with water, I add about 10 to 15 drops of the doTERRA On Guard, and that helps to keep down the germs as well. I also do other things with the essential oil, particularly this one, and I'll share that in just a moment. But right now we are working on the conventional methods. The other thing that I like to utilize to help keep down the spread of germs is hand sanitizer spray. And sorry, I got that turned the wrong way. But this one I actually use is made by The Honest Company. And by the way, guys, I will put links to all the products that I'm mentioning in the description box. So make sure you click on that if you want to figure out where to buy it, have a question about where to buy it. I'll make sure I put the links in the description box. But like I said, I like to use hand sanitizer spray. and I'm sorry I keep turning it the wrong way, but this particular one is made by the Honest Company, and it was just an easy find for me. I actually still use Honest Company diapers and pull-ups for him, and so, you know, I'm used to that company. I know that that doesn't irritate his skin. This does contain ethyl alcohol, 62%, and that is the antiseptic. But if we happen to go to the playground, we happen to be out at the mall, he's about to eat, I just make sure I spray a few quick pumps on his hand, rub them together, and he's good to go. So again, this helps to keep down on the spread of germs, and I'm sure if you have a particular brand that you're used to, you can also utilize that as well. So moving on to some of the non-conventional things that I use to either A, help keep the germs at bay, or B, help to keep Gabe comfortable when he does get a cold. Now, I did mention the use of essential oils, and the brand that I'm most familiar with and also advocate for is the doTERRA brand. And as you can see right here, this is one of the blends that I use, and I'm almost out of it. But this particular brand is called Breathe, and it's a respiratory blend. And then I also use the On Guard blend, and so basically this is what is known as a protective blend. So what I'll do is I'll drop a few drops of the On Guard in the diffuser at night, so that way when we're sleeping at night, we get the therapeutic benefits of helping to kind of boost and rev our immune system. Now let me just tell you that these opinions are of my own, and so doTERRA is not paying me to say this, but I'm just telling you again what I utilize to keep my family, you know, healthy and comfortable throughout the year, but especially during this cold and flu season. So like I said, I drop a few drops of the On Guard blend in our diffuser, and so we receive the therapeutic benefits at night when we're sleeping. Now, if one of those nasty bugs did kind of make it past and Gabe happens to be, you know, stopped up, or either me and my husband happen to be stopped up, one of the blends I also like to use, as I said before, is the Breathe blend. And not only do I diffuse this at night, but I also take just a drop and I add it to I guess a quarter size amount of body lotion, and I apply it to his chest, I apply it to the back, and I apply it to the soles of his feet to kind of help to give him that sensation of being able to breathe more freely. Now, with this last round that he had, this last cold he had, he did have a bit of a runny, stopped up nose. And so one of the things that helped me out a whole bunch in helping to kind of clear out that mucus were saline drops or saline spray. And this one is made by Little Remedies. And again, I'm going to link everything in the description box. And so basically what I would do is that first thing in the morning, I would spray this in his nose. And at first he was a little about it, but I told him it's just going to tickle. And so that would kind of help to loosen up all that mucus and help the stuff to run out. And so in the morning, after I sprayed this, I would also take a sucker, or I don't even know what they call these, but this one is by Neomed, and basically it's one of those old school bulbs. And so what I would do in the morning with this, I would suction out, you know, the mucus, and I do the same thing at night. So in between, you can do the saline as often as you need. However, you don't want to irritate the nasal passages too much, and so because he is older and he does know how to blow, in between the morning and night when I utilize the two together, I will actually just use a saline and let him softly blow, because I do not want to irritate the nasal passages anymore. So again, you're not going to use this every single time you clean the nose, just maybe twice a day, and you should be good. Now, the other thing is, because he, you know, was stopped up and you do have to clean the nose a little more often than you're normally used to, I also like to use a little bit of this healing ointment, and this is by Aquaphor. And once again, I will put the link in the description box. And I use this basically on his nose and around his cheeks, because a lot of times when you have someone who is having to clean their nose repetitively, the skin around it tends to get chafed. And so I want to make sure that he doesn't get chafed, and I want to make sure he doesn't have any additional skin problems. And so I utilize the Aquaphor healing ointment, and like I said, I just put a little bit around the nose and around the cheeks and even around like the mouth, just to kind of keep that area lubricated so that he doesn't have any problems, because I don't want no problems. Now, another thing I want to show you guys, when I mentioned diffusing, you might say, well, what am I going to diffuse it in? Is that the same as, you know, putting the oils in a burner, lighting a candle? No. What I utilize throughout my house are these nifty diffusers, and this particular one I have right here is made by Green Air, and they have all different kinds of ones. And so what I basically do is I take whatever oil I'm going to be utilizing, and I basically fill the diffuser up with water to whatever the point is, and I drop a few drops of the essential oil that I'm using, and then I set it up at night. This particular one by Green Air Spa has different time settings. You can do 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, or in a minute, or you can just let it flow. And so typically what I'll do is I'll set this up at night and just let it go until in the morning. And so again, you'll get the therapeutic benefits. Another diffuser that I have that I like to keep in the common areas because I think it's so pretty. This one is actually, if you can see it, it kind of has a wood grain look. And so, you know, when people come by, they go, ooh, what is that? And I'll say, it's my diffuser. So anyway, this one is made by Taotronics. And once again, I'll put the link in the description box. And it's the same thing. You can do 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, or you can just leave it straight on. It also has a light mechanism that kind of changes colors. And so you kind of use it as a makeshift night light. And yeah, I use this to diffuse my oils, and they are cold air diffusers because again, with the essential oils, you don't want to heat them up. You actually want them to kind of vaporize into the air and mix in, you know, with the water. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole scientific thing, but all I know is that it uses cool mist and it doesn't heat them up. And so you can buy diffusers pretty much anywhere, but I will just link the two that we actually use. And like I said, we have them scattered throughout our homes, but I absolutely love using my diffuser. And like I said, I'm not making any claims to fame. I'm just sharing with you guys what I like to use. Last but not least, what I've been using this time around, because with this cold, Gabe kind of developed, you know, kind of like a cough that went in between being dry. Then the other half, it went in being kind of juicy. And so because he's only 2.5, what the pediatrician recommended was a natural cough syrup that is made by Zarbee's. And it's right here, and I'll make sure again I put the link in the description box. And it's the cough syrup and mucus, and this is with agave and ivy leaf. Now I want to make the note that Zarbee's does have one that is based in honey, but because Gabe has a sensitivity to honey, I didn't use that one. But one of the best lines of defense that I've been told is that when you have a child that's over the age of 1, you can utilize honey to kind of help to suppress the cough or either help to get the mucus up. And so this particular one by Zarbee's, this one is recommended by pediatricians for children ages 2 months and above, and it's supposed to have a natural grape flavor. Now, I truly believe in, you know, sampling little things I'm going to give to my child because I want to be able to say, well, mommy took it, so you can take it too. Now, to the adult palate, it doesn't taste like grape. However, to the unrefined palate, it does have a great flavor, and Gabe actually enjoys taking it. And so I've been giving this to him every 5 hours, and it has cut back on his instances of coughing. But when he does cough, it has also helped to kind of bring up that mucus that's been sitting there. And so I do believe that he's on the fast track to recovery. One of the other things I like to note that I don't have down here with me because it's actually plugged up in the room is that I also use a cool mist humidifier, and I'll actually bring up that clip right now. So this is our cool mist humidifier that we use to kind of put moisture back into the air in order to help cut down on irritation of the nasal passages as well as the airways. And it's made by Crane, and we happen to have the one that's shaped like a puppy dog, but they do have other shapes as well. Because he was having consistently high temperatures. And so one of the things that the urgent care pediatrician recommended was to give him children's Motrin. Again, I got that from my drugstore, and I'll make sure I put the link in the description box. But I actually gave him children's Motrin every 8 hours to help to keep the temperature down. Now, one of the things I like to note is that a fever isn't necessarily an illness, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's an indication that the body is trying to fight something off. And so, particularly for Gabe, he had a temperature that was hovering around 101, 102. And so I wanted to take him in just to make sure that there's nothing more pressing going on. But what she said was because it was a simple cold, I could give him the Motrin every 8 hours to kind of help suppress the fever. And so there was one particular time where he was fast asleep, and so the 8 hours was up, and I didn't want to wake him. And so what they said was if the temperature started to increase to about 103, 104, then to make sure that, you know, I brought him back in and got him reevaluated. Now, I do say that he is 2.5, and so you just want to make sure that you read the guidelines for acceptable fever amounts in children, because I know it's different when you have a child that is younger than the age of 1. And so for him, he is 2.5, and so it was very acceptable to give him the Motrin every 8 hours, and it was okay that the temperature reached about 100 and 102. So again, I did get him checked out, and I did get everything okay with the pediatrician. And so what you want to also make sure that you do is that you basically follow your gut, and you make sure if there is something that just isn't sitting right with you, don't hesitate to take your child to go be seen. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a short, sweet, and quick video on some of the things I use to kind of help keep germs at bay or help keep Gabe comfortable when he does wind up sick, unfortunately. It's kind of like you can try every precaution in the world, but they're kids, their immune systems are still budding and growing, and so somebody's going to bring something home and they're going to get sick. So I just thought I'd share with you guys what I use as a practice to either help keep the spread of germs down or keep him comfortable. And hopefully you guys found this short video to be very informative. What I'd like to know is that if you guys have anything conventional or otherwise that you also use or have in your arsenal, be sure to put them in the comments below, because there may be something that, you know, I hadn't seen or heard about. And so if it's something that's going to help keep them comfortable or help them heal faster, I am all ears. So likewise, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer each and every one of them. And last but not least, we truly do thank you for liking, watching, and subscribing. And be sure to tell a friend, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.